Hi conscious beings, welcome to my personal development and spirituality channel. Today it's a video on intuition, how to know whether it's your intuition or your ego, your mind, your wishes and desires. That's the topic of today's video, so stay tuned. For those who don't know me, my name is Gaelle. I am a spiritual master and I help people who are looking for meaning and wholeness in life to find the pleasure, the enjoyment, and the taste of being again. So if it's not done already, please subscribe to my channel and click the bell button for the notifications. So you will receive a notification whenever I publish a video, because I don't publish very regularly, so it's good to know when I do it. And please go read the description below because there is everything you need to know about this video. And let's jump straight away into the topic: how to know whether this voice that you're having in your mind is your intuition or your mind, your ego, your wishes and desires. So it's very easy actually to tell the difference, but it's not necessarily easy to actually figure out if you have not tried to figure out before. If you have not practiced, you will probably be confused. You will not know whether it's your imagination or if it's your heart. You'll be like, oh, I don't know which one to choose between my mind and my heart. And you may even say things like, oh, in the past I've followed my heart and my intuition and it led me to disastrous consequences. So, well, in this case, let me tell you, you didn't actually choose your heart or your intuition. You followed your fears, your mind, and your ego's wishes and desires. So now we're gonna see. I'm gonna explain to you how you can figure out which one is what. What is what? Okay, so I'm gonna do two categories. So one category will be the intuition, and the other category will be the fears, the mind, the ego, the wishes and desires, and all that. Because it has those voices are have two different energetic signatures. And we'll start with the ego, wishes and desires and mind category. And in this category, there are three different distinct voices that you can hear. And one is your mind, the other one is what I call the ego, and the third one is your wishes and desires. And why I'm saying that the second one is your ego, it's because it talks about your identity. It's related to your identity, and you'll see what I'm talking about here. But actually, if we want to be real here, all of those three voices are your ego. They are all your ego. Three different egos voices. But I wanted to call one of them ego because you'll see why. It's related to your self-esteem and your identity. So we're going to start with your mind. So so those voices that I'm talking about here, there are actual voices, different parts of your being that are talking. So the first one is that you can encounter is your mind. Well, this one is very cold. It's a cold voice, like a robot. It gives reasons, sensible reasons for why you should do this XYZ, or you shouldn't do that. So it gives you reasons for why you should or shouldn't do what it tells you to do. It doesn't suggest you to do something, it tells you what you should do. And also, it's very confusing because it gives you many reasons that are contradictory. And you end up being so confused because you don't even know which one you should actually follow, because they all have the same power, I would say, because that's what that's the one of the mind's properties. It's to give factual reasons or sensible reasons, and it all has the same equal value and power, and they are contrary opposites, totally opposite, and that's why you end up not knowing which one to choose. Because if you have many opinions here that are all equal and some of them are totally opposite, well, of course it's confusing. Of course, you don't know what to choose, what is the right way, and you're questioning and you're not sure, and you ask more and more questions. It's like, for instance, if you're asking your tarot deck, you're pulling cards for yourself, or you're watching tarot readings on YouTube, mine and other people's videos, and you can't stop watching videos, and you keep watching videos, tarot readings, and you you overconsume tarot readings, then in the end the message is lost and you don't even know what to do. Well, so you keep questioning and asking questions for this and on the other way, and like on that way and that way, so you can figure out what you should do. Well, then that's your mind. Yeah, that's your mind. And it gives you proofs as well. It gives you proofs. You should do this because of this. All those reasons, that's why you should do this. There are proofs, and yeah. But still it's confusing, right? You still, even when it has spoken, you still don't know what to do. So yeah, that's your mind. And one thing you will notice is that you feel fear, anxiety, and you're feeling really insecure about your choice, your options. Yeah, it's confusing. You're doubting a lot. So the main emotion here is fear and anxiety. So if you're feeling that, then it's definitely not your intuition. Then the second voice that you can encounter is your ego's voice, like the one that I call ego's voice. And this one is blaming you. It's guilting you. It's using methods to convince you that it is the right choice, that you should do. Again, you should do this. Beware if you don't. Something bad will happen. So you should definitely do that. Listen to me. It gives you orders. Listen to me. If you don't, it's like tyranny, right? It's a tyrant. You have to follow what it says because something bad otherwise will happen. It gives you threats, threatening thoughts. If you don't do that, this bad thing will happen. Or it can blame you, or it can guilt you, it can push you down, push your self-esteem down. That's why I said, I gave the name ego's voice, because it uses your identity and your self-esteem and your self-confidence to push you down. It will say things like, "Oh, if you don't do that, then you're definitely a bad person. If you were a good person, you would choose what I say." Yeah. So you can even realize here that those voices that you have in your mind, some actual people carry those voices concretely. So those people are definitely toxic. So let's go back to the ego's voice. So it will use all totally unethical or non-ethical methods to convince you that you should follow its order. If you don't, you're a bad person, something bad will happen to you. Oh, you're such an idiot. Yeah, it tells you things like that. It pushes you down. You're such an idiot. Look, you never know how to make the right choices. You always make bad decisions. You don't know how to make good decisions. Look, you never listen to me when I speak. And yeah, so it tries to convince you that you should follow it. Yeah. And what else? Threats. If you don't, then pushes you down, pushes your self-esteem down, your self-confidence, blames you, guilts you. You feel bad when this voice talks. You just feel bad about yourself, about your choices. Yeah, and you feel fear as well. But here, it's not fear of indecision and this confusion. Here, it's related to your identity, who you are. You're not a good person. You're not good enough. You're too much. Yeah, you should be ashamed of yourself. And blah, blah, blah. So here you also have emotions: fear, guilt, disgust toward yourself, toward other people, guilt, shame. Yeah, here we go. That's your ego's voice, not your intuition. And then the third one in this big umbrella category, it is your wishes and desires. your ego's voices and desires, not your soul's, not your deepest desires. No, here it's your ego's desires, shallow, on the surface, ego-driven desires. So here as well you have emotions. In this case, they are positive emotions: elation, excitement, enthusiasm. Yoo-hoo! Yeah! That it's telling you what you want to hear. So of course you're excited, you're super enthusiastic and joyful and all that. But this excitement and joy and all that, it has something bzzzt in its vibration. It's not soft and quiet. It has some underneath it. You can feel that it's not a quiet enthusiasm. You could ask me how you can have a quiet enthusiasm. Isn't it an oxymoron? Well, no. You can have enthusiasm that is pure. And you can have enthusiasm that is stressed out. Underneath it, it's like... And it's very much like that. So you feel that you're... Yeah, it's sticky. It's sticky. It's something you don't want to let go of. You're very much like that, you know. You hold it. And usually it's because there are fears of missing out or fears of lack underneath it or behind it. And that's why you so much want it. You so desire this thing because of the lack that you don't want to experience. Especially if it's something that you've wanted forever. Yeah. So I'm thinking here, especially on love, you know, you're looking for a love partner, your twin flame or whatever. And is this my twin flame? You're asking yourself, is this my twin flame? And it says yes. Of course you're gonna be like, I knew it. I knew it. I won. I finally got it. I knew it was my twin flame from the first day, first time, blah, blah, blah. I was right. And here, let me tell you, it's not that you have started a relationship with that person and that it's working out, it's working well, you are in a healthy relationship, you're both happy and everything is fine, and it's been month now that you've been together, so your personalities, your respective personalities have been able to unfold, then you know that it's working, that it's your twin flame, he's or she's your twin flame, because you've experienced it in real life, you can see it's true. Okay, so that's different, okay, because then you have experienced it, so you can say, I was right, okay, because now it's done. But what I was talking here about the voices in your mind, it hasn't happened yet in real life. You are not yet in that perfect relationship. You have just met that person and you're asking your guidance, inner system, your intuition, whether this is the one, and it says yes. And then you're like, pump it up. So, no, this is not your intuition. This is your wishes and desires that are speaking, your ego's wishes and desire, and it's telling you what you want to hear. You wanted to hear, yes, it is my twin flame. Because I have searched for him or her for so long that it has to be him or her. It cannot be no. It has to be yes. Otherwise, it's going to be horrific for my feelings. I will go depressed again. So, this is not your intuition. And you go watch all the tarot readings out there, and not one is not enough. You go for 1, 2, 3, and you watch everything you see on YouTube, and of course you watch only those readings that show in the title, this is him or her. Your twin flame has arrived. Of course, if you see that in the title, you're gonna watch the video. You wanna, and yeah, of course, you will see and hear what you wanted to hear and see, and you will say your intuition is so right. And it's so synchronistic, and yeah. And it's playing competition with the other voices as well, because it says, see, I told you, he or she was my twin flame. To the other voices that were like, yes, maybe, no, it's not, da 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 da, or the voices around. Yeah, and this voice is like, I won, I was right. So this is not your intuition. And if you follow this voice, you're going to be disappointed. You're going to go back to your old habits, your patterns that you haven't still obviously solved. So don't do that. Well, you can do it if you want. Okay, so now we've talked about the mind's voice, the ego's voice, and third one, the wishes and desires voice, all which are ego-driven. Of course, it's part of your ego. And the signature that you have probably noticed is emotion. All of them carry emotions. All of them. In the first case, it was fear and anxiety. Second case, it was blame, shame, guilt, all that. Disgust as well. Third voice, it was elation, excitement, enthusiasm, and quite stressed enthusiasm, of course. But yeah, all of them, there was emotions. Now, if we go into the other category, which is the intuition and the instinct, then you will notice that there is no emotion. There is no emotion. It's quiet. You don't hear a voice that is super excited or super convincing or super strong or very assertive or whatever. No, it's just a voice that tells you what it is. And it's really short. Usually it's really short, because it's not giving you any reasons for why you should follow it. It's not giving you reasons for why it is the right choice or the right option. It is just speaking its truth, which is your truth, your deepest truth. Because I think all the voices you have in yourself can carry some truth, but it's not necessarily your highest truth, the truth that you have when you see with a higher perspective. Okay, so in the case of your intuition, the voice is calm. It's not trying to convince you because it knows it's true, and it's not in competition. It is not trying to be right. It is not trying to convince you. It is not trying to force you to do it, to do what it says. It is just telling you what it is. That's it. And it doesn't need to give you reasons to convince you, because when you hear it, you know it's true. Directly, automatically. There is no doubt. That's the signature you will have with this voice, the intuition voice. It is true. It is reality. That's it. So it doesn't have to speak more than that. It just tells you what it is. That's it. And it's very quiet. It's not ordering you anything. It's not blaming you. It's not playing mind games. It's not fucking with your mind. None of that. When you hear it, it's actually very calming. Just you breathe, and so simple. It's so simple, so easy. When it delivers its message, is just, yeah, that's right. That's it. And you feel serene, you feel calm when you hear it. You don't feel stressed out. You feel peaceful. It actually gives you some relief, or you settle, you breathe. Yeah, and you just know it's true. You don't even need anything more from it. Yeah. So if it tells you it's your twin flame, he or she is your twin flame. Yeah, of course. And you don't even need to go on YouTube to figure out with card readings, tarot readings, videos, whether it's true, or to have confirmation of that information. You absolutely don't need confirmation. For you, it's a reality. It's like, do you believe you have fingers? Do you believe you have a nose? No, you know you have a nose, you know you have fingers. It's a reality for you. You don't need confirmation. You don't need to prove it. You don't need, well, it's not a belief. That's the same thing for intuition. When it's your intuition, it's a reality. It's just, yeah, it's real. You don't need confirmation. So, yeah. What else? Yeah, well, I think that's it. No emotion. Did I tell you that, no emotion. So I cannot explain to you what no emotion is, because it's something that you have to experience. Because of course I know it's a bit confusing to hear someone telling you about a non-emotional feeling. If it's a feeling, it has to be emotional, right? Well, no. When it's spiritual feelings are not emotional, because they are out of the body. They are not in the body, and they are not, yeah. So emotions are in the body. They do. In fact, they are. So they have chemicals. There is a feeling attached to chemicals, and it gives you physical sensations in your body. So with intuition, you don't have that. It's more airy, or it's more up there. And well, there are two types of intuition. There is the instinctive intuition, which is in the body. It's only physical sensations. You will feel your gut expand or contract, or your solar plexus, or your heart, or your throat, or whatever, you will feel something here, at your third eye, or whatever, or hear the tingling, the crown chakra, whatever, you will feel something in your body, and your body may even act by itself without you giving it the order. It will just move. You will just take the keys and go. You can even watch yourself doing that, but yeah, your body will just take the lead and do what it needs to do. That's the instinctive intuition. But here we were more talking about the kind of spiritual intuition, which is more up there, and it can have images, sounds, or things like that. But you can feel it's definitely not so much in the body. It's more here, and it's more like a concept or an idea. It's just presenting you this concept or this idea. This. And it tells you again and again, but it's not forceful. It's not, as I said, it's not forcing you to do anything. You don't feel pressured to follow it. If you don't, you feel free to do so, not to follow its input. It's okay. Like, you can do it, or you can not do it. You do what you want. Nothing bad will happen if you don't. Like, it's just it's not telling you that something bad will happen. It's not telling you that you will be a bad person if you don't do it, or look at yourself, you're a piece of shit. No, it's not telling you that. It's just telling you what it is. So stop at this station, bus station, or you have in your mind this bus station, and you just stop there. Yeah. And it can repeat it. It can repeat the information. It can repeat. But it's always calm, and you feel free to follow it or not. Yeah. And because it's not trying to convince you of anything, you may not hear it when you don't have a peaceful mind, when you don't have a clear mind. If your mind is cluttered with your mental's voice, like your mind's voice, your ego's voice, and your wishes and desires voice, then you will not hear your intuition. because the three other voices, they want to convince you, they want to force you to do what it says. So it will shout, it will scream, it will talk in a very forceful way, like a little bit like a tyrant or like an alarm. An alarm is very difficult to stand because it is just making so much noise, and you cannot miss it. You will hear it and it will force you to act because it's so unbearable. So that's what those three voices do. They will speak and repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat until you do it. And if you don't, you're a bad person. And so, of course, when you have that in your mind is cluttered with all those voices. Of course, you cannot hear your intuition that is just presenting you the idea or the solution or the concept. This person is your twin flame. This person is your twin flame. And you're not even listening, you're not even watching this person because you're watching the other person that is not your twin flame, which is a karmic relationship. And that's the person you are focused on. And yeah, because it matches your ego's voice, like your ego's wishes and desires. And you were like, no, this one is my twin flame. This one is my twin flame. And the other voice, your intuition, is saying, here is your twin flame. Here is your twin flame, and you're not listening. But it's not going to force you to follow it. It's fine. You have your free will. You can do whatever you want. And it's never gonna infringe your free will and your personal boundaries. Yeah. With your intuition, you will always keep your integrity safe. All right. So like, subscribe, click the bell button for the notifications, and share with someone who may have this issue to figure out what this voice is, whether it's their intuition or their mind or their ego's voice or their wishes and desires, and they don't know which one to choose. This one, that one, is it my heart, is it my mind, what is it? I don't know, I'm confused. Okay, share this video with them. It will help them probably figure out what it is and how to make the difference between all those voices. And hopefully, yes. So, wish you a beautiful day. Go watch my other videos. And I'll try to make more videos in English for my English speaking people. So, yeah. Bye.